Hello, this is FG back with you for Anbennar. Today we are picking up with the Pashaine campaign and what is likely our final episode, or what will be the final episode as a member of the Empire. The unimpeachable rules of the soiree are these. Distrust the guest who turns his nose up at table mates. Distrust the table which will not mix with others. Above all, distrust the host who, faced with such affronts, declines to intervene. Hmm. Stop it. Distillery cost. We can pay for that. Alright. Plotting intellects. Funding networks across the Empire and every princedom of the realm. Accounts in special banks. Cells within our institutions. Complacency. Utter complacency everywhere. This is what we have learned from our grand investigation, from our determination to discover why the mages came so close to upturning our entire country. This cannot stand. In some ways, we are simply recommending reform. We must announce to the Empire what we have learned and what they have allowed. Sometimes one must preach the truth to an unwilling crowd. Sometimes virtue makes one a stranger. And if the Empire will not address the arcane sedition in its very foundation, we will have to make some very important decisions indeed. The Pashaine outburst. Lucius Sil Valsna was a spindly figure. From a distance, it seems he might snap, were he to be dropped too aggressively. Yet even at rest there is a storm in his expression, a heavy brow wrinkled over a large hooked nose. Even before he takes to the rostrum, the brass thumping of his powerful voice can be heard across the chamber. Diet! He does not honor this place with flattery. He calls the chamber's name as though it were a duelist's challenge. Among those who know your letters may know of my ancestors the esteemed Thomas, who between his many words of statecraft once wrote in a letter to a friend that the guest who has been wronged must not allow the evening to end before confronting his host. It was the lightest of soiree advice, my fellow delegates, yet it stays with me now. The Empire is rotting, delegates. In Pashaine, we have watched as the mages of this empire conspire to overthrow our legitimate government in service to an agenda which presses in all places at all times against the will of the people. Perhaps you have looked upon us, fellow delegates, smirked to see such perfidy trouble the folks of the Luna Valley. Indeed, I know you have. You scoffed at the thought of a scholar mage planning anything beyond their next dissertation, just as the Castanorians scoffed as Nitschmer enthralled their realm. Mark my words, the rot will come for you, and when you ask, as we asked, for the natural aid of the rightful emperor, you will find that the wood of the throne itself has been chewed right through, that the empire upon which you rely is nothing but a patsy of the towers, and that it is too late. Your apparently innocent scholars have friends in 100 lands, and they despise the rule of any other. No, Pashaine will not die with you, Empire. When you cringe at the feet of whichever witch king rises from this abominable treason, he will not kneel alongside you. For our insult against the Empire, we are to be chastened by spell and steel. So goes the imperial bull which was issued mere days ago, and which was read to the Chamber of Representatives in almost absolute silence. One might have expected trepidation, whispered prayers, and truthfully, we Pashaine have quite enough of fear. The universal response is pure fury, willingness to go whatever distance is needed to defend the state we have cobbled together as a guild of citizens. There are no true doves, fitting since it is the dove throne which we defy. The second Nitschmer, the patsy of the mages, will find no quarter among the resolute of Pashaine. There are no strings left for the flimsy empire to pull in our country. Chief among the war party is Lucius Silvilusa, who in his outburst before the Diet embodied all of the frustration and resentment we at Pashaine have felt. He, before all others, embodies our national mood, resolute confidence, and our quiet fury. He will lead our parliament. Alright. Following their recent civil unrest and lurch into ancient magical paranoia, the Pashaine have made a spectacle of themselves in the Diet, railing against what they call the arcane rot at the foundation of the Empire. They spoke in terms so strident as to be fundamentally treasonous, openly slandering the Dove Throne itself. We have little choice but to act to bring them in line, or face a catastrophic loss of our imperial authority. In doing so, we will free the entire region from this rogue state. Alright. Where is my... They're fine. What happened to my... Oh, this is the combat phase. Alright, so who are we fighting? Okay. Yeah, we can go this way, send these guys over to the island. Okay, this is the bus army. Is this Wesdan? No, that's just Anbennar cost. Alright. Not the best time to be upgrading our fleet, but it's gotta get done. This guy. Absolutism is nothing. I guess I take that. Right, and then we can march this way. They are on our side. Who else is on our side? Esmerine. Okay. Losing a few too many men for me to be comfortable there. As can this. Yeah, these guys can go fight. Our fleet should hopefully stomp them pretty badly. Yeah, okay. We are defenders in this war, which is a little bit... Shit. I think we could have won that had we had defending bonus. But... Oh well. This is the Artificer Army. So our goal is break the Empire. That's the Artificer army. Send that way. Some of these guys, I think it makes sense to take out. Valerson. And okay, this army is not doing anything. We're doing something. This army's not doing anything. We can head down to deal with Trenton's troops. These guys really Pioneer Guild separatists? Oh, a lot of them are at war with me too. Where's Arden? Corner is... There they are. Alright, now our army's gonna be a lot less split up. So you can send them... places we need them a lot more. You know, the Artificer's gonna be a home guard unit. Use them right there. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's another army somewhere else. They're both going to fight on Dame's Ear. We need to take one army north. Let's bring these guys now south. Anbennar are actually our buddies this time. Or not Anbennar, but the Rebellion State. Finally realized we're both fighting for the same things. Sort of. Speaking of which, do that. Sure. These guys are up north as well. Just getting kind of annoying having all these ships sitting here. Take... What's naval width? 60. These guys need to stay out. These guys can be combined. Alrighty, and then we can take an empire finally put to rest. Alright. Alright, let's take all of our forces back. Now I can do cut off the rotten head. The title of Emperor of Anbennar is hereby abolished. No individual, organization, guild, or political corporation may adopt such a moniker, nor may they utilize it for commercial purposes or as a title of trade. Organized activity or legitimation efforts conducted on behalf of the title Emperor of Anbennar or in support of individuals claiming such a title are henceforth considered to satisfy the sedition requirements of Article 2 of the Treason Act. We Pashaine have made our virtue of our discretion, but there is a point where discretion becomes mere meekness. The canny hostess may allow a slight or two to glance off her armor of lace, but there comes a point where her spine must not bend. This empire, our machinations, and our legalisms have kept it upright. We have lacquered this rotting wood of this great structure with our fine words and forced the rule of law upon so many petty princes, all in the name of a throne which we agreed we would not sit. No more, an end to the clever metaphor. Define words chosen carefully. We have been repaid for our imperial service with the machination of mages and the rancid plotting of the tower enabled by the imperial diet. Once we believed the agenda of the would-be witch kings was simply a weevil in the grain, a regrettable malady which could be isolated and cauterized. We were wrong. This empire has never truly purged the rot of Nishmer, the threat of arcane tyranny. The shaky consensus achieved at the end of the Wars of Rule simply left the mages to connive in their towers for centuries. No more will we play the part of the courtier, who seeks by subtle means to reform the realm. Instead, we will forge our own realm anew, sweep away corruption of the magicratic establishment, and replace it with a great state of the people, constituted of bodies and estates which make it great. There will be no more emperor, no more wheedling agents of magical autocracy. Instead, there will be unity. The dream is not dead. By these means, it is preserved. Alright, so now we have maximum of 60 zeal. And we want to build these here. Where else? Needs 8. Forts. There we are. Alright. And then we can go and accept Lexinards. Alright. Iron Hills. Where is the Iron Hills? Do and encourage development right here real quickly. think pretty much everywhere should have a production building. 10 clues. I'll do that eventually. And then Parliament, we are still working. Alright. Now. Okay. Let's get... What are we doing? 34? Yeah, 34. It's 5... Okay, who owns Shinakorchi now? Improve relations. Right. Tech trade and Anbennar cost. All of these guys need to meet up. There. Alright. And we can do this, and they can drill. I will take that. And then... Cannons am I putting on these? 30? Yeah. I'm not going to bother with the Imperial Guard, or the Revolutionary Guard cannons, because it's just less useful for them to take less damage. Do that. Alright, what else can we do? Spy network. In fact, I want that spy network. Even willing to play a Wexen card. Yeah, we're gonna keep Lucius. Why is this one only 63,000? Oh, I need more artificers. Yeah, we're still making more than enough money. Diplomatic, minimum autonomy, advisor cost. Yeah, let's go with the diplo-free policy. We'll probably get one eventually. Okay. convert that over to Pashaine. We can take cannons, and we can get swivel cannons. Alright. Okay, all of these provinces are now Pashaine. Excellent. Don't care about the elves as much. Alright, Orcish Soldiers of Fortune, we can do that. On initiative. Okay, so I can recall them. Okay, good. Okay, up of the rector. This should be done. 25 Revolutionary Guards. Oh, let me cancel those Fondantieri then. We're only paying 11 ducats for being overforced, and that's not bad at all. We have a ventricle, so we can vote. Do that. The artifice tax. Okay. Get that built. No. 15 Revolutionary Zeal. Revolutionary Nation at Peace. What a 15. Suppose I can build a spy network there. Relations here. Can do the next 10 years. Russian. that count? Less than 3. Okay, we can do that. Alright. It has been common among human and elven aristocracies to speak of honor among weapons, as though death gains any greater meaning for the victim through elegance with which it is dealt. This is naive, nor moral nonsense. The statesman makes a demon of himself the moment he deems it necessary to take the life in the name of the state. This is his burden and his moral inevitability. In this moment, his honor and absolution becomes inconsequential. He can only hope, through the merciless deployment of any and all weapons available, that such a sacrifice in the name of the state proves worthwhile. We did not hide the ship. We festooned it in a ribbon and sailed it right up the Divinal to Napes Bay. We wanted all of Anbennar to know we had a shipment of the stuff, and that we'd deploy it whenever we felt the need. At this point, you'd see, we'd rather abandon the prospect of making nice with the neighbors. It was a question of fundamental survival of our society. Let do-gooders whine about Oni, about deals with the devil and of far-off shores. Let one of them go. Every one of them made the same pact over and over again with the mages they foolishly trusted not to coup them in half a second as soon as it served their purpose. Alright, we have Black Dames to your bullets, which is tier 3, which gives us that. Alright, we are now up to our discipline, 110% discipline. Excellent. Do we have claim? Oh, we have claims everywhere. That makes sense. Yeah. Okay, I do not care about any of them. And then go ahead and declare one on Anbennar. These guys are on go to port during war. Alright, who else are we at war with? Just those two. Where's my Imperial Guard army? There they are. Yeah, it's time to put them to the test. Not really a fair test, but I guess it's fine. Alright, that. No edict. Oh, this doesn't have a production building. This does not either. We already have one there. So that'll be done, that'll be done, that'll be... 2, and then here. Yeah, that'll be done pretty soon too. Get upgraded. Okay, armed with steel. Let the equestrian aristocrats mock our scruff-coated petty officers. Let them sneer at our mass-produced cannons. I would trade every general brilliance fated to come of age within our borders for a steady supply of guns and equipment. Every genus battlefield stratagem for a shopkeeper's officer's blunt common sense. Initiate the guardsmen. Once the swashbuckling adventurers of Medibor charmed lovers with their daring, their risk. Proud, bellicose, and muscle-bound, they were just young enough to be reckless, spilling over with bravado. And yet, how much more appealing still when such bravado is in the service of all. Let us, of course, a rake is a rake, but a rake in good boots, fervently vowing to take on the Witch King for you, darling. You'll hand over the light fixtures if they ask. Alright. Guardsmen. Blue Heart or Finest. I can do that. Of course, we lose a little bit of guard faction, but I think having one army is quite good for the moment. If I take that off. Everyone will now get drilled super fast. Alright. Is there a debuff for... portable turrets? Alright. Shit. This is good though. Arcane Blaster. Yeah. No, that's not good enough. How big is this reward nowadays? Quite large. Ooh. We can do that. Okay, so now it's just up to us to wait for their loyalty to go up. Merchants. Yep. Yep. Do that. Saloran. Alright. We're gonna keep Lucius. There's our natural scientist. Production efficiency. Alright. How many men does Istrovar have? Is it worth sending army down there? I don't have enough transports. And then these guys can head this way. How's this been going on? 39. Okay. Yep. Good, good. Alright. Those guys go sit there. Get together. Alrighty. Anbennar cost is dealt with. 15 revolutionary zeal. Declare on a Wex. Okay. Those guys do have their orders to go home. Alright, let's declare on a Wex for that. Wed, please. Bestie host, leave them to their business. can go off. That can go off. Let's go with we can take this army head that way, this army head that way, and this army head here. Okay, yeah, our ruler's in charge of that army. Ember Garden. Besieged. And then men does Lorent have. Okay, 3 armies should be enough to deal with them so long as they're good armies. Yeah, good armies, I mean our revolutionary guards as well as artificers. These guys need a general. There, here, here, and then we'll have all of Lex sieged. Can't seize them and their wealth. Wisdom has been sieged. Right. Actually, instead of taking that, let me take this. Finish off that little, a bit of that little state. So for Magdalier, and piece them out. So, as far as Gisden, they can get out. Play like this, I don't think anyone should really be trying to fight us one-on-one. Oh yeah, these are all heavy ships that I've built. Alright. I can do this. University's no problem. Okay. So for rent, Trent Trenton. I really just want to get rid of their alliance with Trenton, honestly. Okay, so... Alright, let's start once more. Centuries ago, the Craven of the Empire capitulated to the mages, offering them privacy and autonomy to scheme endlessly against the rule of the legitimate government. We recognize now the power of the independent guild, the strength which a group gains when they may extend an arm as a single body, free and unhindered. Now the house wishes to do the same for artificery, as though magic may be rendered more ceramic upon its infusion into an object. Many members, how many times precisely must we learn this lesson? Artificers have never been systemically implicated in magicratic subversion attempted against our state. Indeed, their craft has swatted quite merrily into the guild system in a way mages never quite did, and the condescension of mages towards their practice actually inclined them against sedition during the mages' attempted coup. Nevertheless, they are another potential source of power, and we have learned that such supernatural power easily corrupts those who hold it exclusively. While there is no strong support behind a purge of artificers along the same line of mages, there are increasing calls in Parliament for stricter regulation and government oversight of artificery guilds. Fundamentally, the practice of any form of magic must be subordinate to the citizens' guild, the state. Alright, so... that is presumably our last... all of the artificers we're going to have. Okay, now we can head that way. We need it to not have any one of those. Absurdity possesses its own power. What men do not believe, they cannot combat, and for as long as one can hold one's enemies in disbelief, they will fail to adapt. This is the logic of the massacre, which the neophytes often misidentify as merely an act of terror, yet one massacres to inflict fear, to reduce resistance in a locality. But beyond this, massacre destabilizes the survivor, presents even those who were not there with a world utterly changed and unpredictable. The survivors must adapt, and this adaptation takes crucial time. In this sense, all spectacle mimics the massacre. The greatest spectacle massacred the symbol, the king forced to kneel, the holy scepter shattered against a flagstone, and makes stunned survivors of entire nations. The Pashaine troops were all the more terrifying for their politeness. Oh, they slammed the doors with their makeshift rams well enough. Their officer would enter the home, courteously request that all inhabitants wait outside, and methodically listed all items of any real value to be distributed among his soldiers. Those who refused were not shot, merely detained. The Pashaine did this at home, by home, street by street. It was like the proverbial man in the temple who smashes the mosaics, except they were prizing each mosaic piece individually from the wall 1,000 times over. We were surprised, a few days thence, to discover none of it had been ordered. Even in their looting, they formed guilds. In some countries, soldiers act as a mob, and others as reaving aristocracy. In Pashaine, on the other hand, were merchants. They prized everything, then stripped it bare. Their goal seemed not merely the destruction of Anbennar, but its impoverishment. Or perhaps they simply wanted to prove the superiority of their pillage. No better example, of course, than the palace. Thousands of soldiers working over several weeks dismantled the entire thing from top to bottom, down to the ornamentation, all to be shipped away to Blueheart and reassembled. a symbol of humiliation, the ultimate defeat of the Empire. We will buy the loot from our troops. Alright. Palace of Unity. Alright. So for the rent, I can come in here. Well, why not? Give it. When do I get my next? It's gonna take a while. Okay, so for the rent, I want that, and then alright. Those who devour themselves in service of the state, who bring upon themselves burdens of responsibility, are rightly recognized. The autocrats of the old imagined themselves the guiding intellect and mind of the realm, where we recognize the true statesmen are the blood, the nerves. All the various organs must be coordinated, fed, regulated, and mediated between, for when the surface is punctured, it is the blood which rises to clot and protect. Alright. So I need all of those provinces. Actually, never mind. We don't want to take this then. We can take these instead. Oh. Alright, where are the... Yeah, I'll send our Revolutionary Guards over. Alright. And as far as development, take that, why not? Sure. Alright, so for Akasik, actually want to go ahead and get rid of their Resor as well. Does this count? I don't think it does, but I'm gonna go ahead and check and see if... Because this is a little bit similar to Napoleon going to Egypt, although we're already ruler. Let's do this a little bit. Only done. Like a Sikh being delusionally optimistic. Got like half your country siege down, Dr. Sikh. Please just give up. Alright, they're willing to. I'm gonna go carry my troops across back to the tail. Okay, send them there. All these guys will take this fleet. Yep, these guys upgrade. These can get upgraded. And these can get upgraded as well. Alright. Take the war guy this way. Alright, so Rebellion State. Puppet the Rector, how blind are those who stand before the people and claim the voice of God, and how deep the abyss into which such blind men lead? The people of Pashaine took gradually to rebellionism. The Luna had long been awash with various religions, and even the Kornite debates were in this region more a question of squabbling than true polarization. In some ways, one might say the Pashaine people viewed rebellionism as a relief, a compromise, one which would allow everyone involved to retain their gods, albeit under a new saintly framing. Perhaps one could also say that the energy once reserved for an increasingly distant, irrelevant diet has been redirected into the wheeling and dealing of the rebellion state. The principles of discovery and meaning, the reading groups, the veneration of figures who did something, who built something, all of this fits naturally over the guild structure, over the existing instincts of the Pashaine people. And so it is natural now that the ventricle cohort full of Pashaine puppets, even those from foreign climes, rallies behind Pashaine dominance of the Rectorate. Those who object have been sidelined, quietly and then brusquely, until all that is left is a religious structure volunteering to come under the patronage of a secular one. What is religion to the Pashaine but yet another guild? Union of the secular and the divine. The Rectorate would not move, of course, neither would the lodges. An extraordinary number of norms were preserved, in fact, all in the aid of preserving a greater fiction that the Rebellion Church remained independent. That Provost and Archprovost and Ventricle were not appointed by the government of Pashaine. And yet, argued the most radical parliamentarians, why not? In subsuming the church beneath the umbrella of the state, Pashaine had achieved what no other religion ever had: the nomination of its priesthood by representatives of the people, an independent church structure appealing only to its own revealed wisdom of the God fragment, had infinite capacity to demand obedience and awe. Now, ventricle appointment would be the responsibility of a subcommittee, not an unaccountable circle of elders. For the daily believer who idolized a saint or three and tried to follow their trajectory, not much would change at all. Alright, we need to come back. They can drill. Those guys are drilling. Where's this army? Oh, they can drill as well. Granted. Is there anyone who would be willing to be a vassal? I really only want to offer vassalization to those who I do not need to conquer. And Black Powder College, Command of the Military, Aristocratic Counselors. What's our army tradition at? 100. Who's Connell allied to these days? I can declare Connell, Colin Wainsmanar, Anbennar, Pashaine. Don't care about them, don't care about them, don't care about them. You know what? It's time to... I'm gonna take a moment. I might... Yeah, I want more armies. Combat width is currently 34. Up to 36. Our loyal artificers can be reinforced with 2 Imperial Guard regiment, not Imperial Guard, Revolutionary Guard regiments. Where's our Revolutionary Army? These guys can actually get 2 more Revolutionary Infantry. And I want to do... Alright, that should be enough. Might be a few too many, that's fine. They will rally to Port Munis. No, that is actually almost exactly enough. A little bit under, actually. And then I want 2 more here. It's 36. Alright. Uniform regulations. Alright, that should actually boost my economy. Yeah, they can go way over our limit. Alright, and let's do something militaristic. Alien attrition. Right. We are declaring Fort Conwell. We're gonna call in Anbennar, call in Ashiende, call in Benin. Alright. Honestly, if Corvuria could just deal with our end themselves, that would be excellent. These guys need to go to war. Factories, alright. Where'd manufactories spawn? Yeah. There's Ashfield, alright. So, we will be taking that. Oh, sorry, war with Gisden. Good. Okay, Anbennar. Are we at war? Okay. Send that army. Deal with them. This is going to be field shockingly easy at this point. They got annexed. You know what? Fuck you, Gilbert. You don't get to be a part of this. You don't want to join. What's our siege ability? 35%. Yes. Still do not want to give up. This is a Revolutionary Guard army that I'm going to deal with them. further south. Alrighty. Who can I get out? Gisden. This is mostly just to give them a truce. Because I don't want them joining any coalitions. Alright, so for Benin, obviously I want all three of these provinces granted. I'm probably going to do the same thing with Armos and just piece them off to get a truce. Alright, Arnon. Sorry, not Armos, Arnon. This war. This way. Okay, so Pashaine probably gonna need to go find their army and crush it. So for... Oh, they're fighting, that's why they're gonna give up. That. Alright, for them. More reps, cash, coalition. Tornan. What GP number are we? Number 1. Do that. We can do... Where is my revolutionary army? Alright, he's pretty good. Alright, so Anbennar. Get yeah, let me get those provinces. Right, declare war here. Rains, Silver Forge. calling in Dame's Crown. There's Marine. Much. Okay. And is there any where I can reduce autonomy? Not really. Okay, so for here, we obviously want this. At this point, I do not care. So I can declare this war, and I call in Monastery, Silver Moon, and Esmeralda. Ravenhill, give me. Okay, I will take nothing from them. Like I said, these truces are largely just to keep nations out of coalitions against us. Technically could take these provinces, but they're part of the borders. I don't really care right now. Nope. Wrong one. Arboron. Alright, armies. Armies. Revolutionary Guards, that's out. Good. Alright, that with them. One of these is my Revolutionary Guard army. Theronen's been sieged, has the range on RBC. Hopefully they focus on Galwed, the Wed. I don't care how you say it. Because they're dirty, dirty Hellenics. On the artificers. Let's do with industrial. In terms of artificers, warper bullets are good. Spark drive rifles are good. Arcane blasters are good. These guys, they will do a lot of damage. Yeah, gene food cultivation. GMOs are cool. There's actually a Monsanto. I think there used to be a Monsanto plant where I live. So, take advantage of it. Good. check what. You know what? It is time we gotta cover our ships. At least a little bit. Where's my artificer army? They're over near Ibivar. Yeah, that's where they need to be. Because that army I feel quite confident fighting Ibivar with. Other ones a little bit less so. I actually would like less from you, Deepak. This is the Revolutionary Guard army. Let's do... First Guards. And... Sylvivan, War Wizard. Sure, why not? Oh, that's a big S still. We will deal with that if it becomes a problem. We can build that. Actually, let me go ahead and see if I can build some buildings. Oh, those are good. I'm gonna build those two. But happening. How long has this war been going? Yeah, a few more years before they peace out. Okay, so for people I want to peace out, Esmeralda, no. Okay, just give me a bit of cash. for Ibivar, need anything? That. And then here, X-West. I guess I got claims on every Imperial province. Monastery of the Silver Moon. Obviously, we're taking that. Damn, I should have taken that province from Gisden. I'll send these guys south. Who's actually in a coalition against me? That's not a bad coalition. Okay, so Ibivar, peace or reps. For Trenton, I don't care about you right now. For Moonhaven, nope, nope. Yes, yes. So from there and then, we're obviously going to be taking 3 provinces. I like all of these. I want to get rid of them. One of them so I can go to Diplo so I can get that province force growth cost reduction. I'm disappointed. Buildings. Do that. Those. Okay, I can suppose that. Esmeralda, I want that. But it is. Yeah, we're not doing that. because I do not want Laurent in that coalition. Yep. That. How's Ibivar in this coalition? Oh, because they're not in the coalition, they're allied. What I am going to send these guys right here. Where'd my boats go? Here's my boats. Port. The artificers. Oh well. Artificer army coming south. What happened to... Oh, my artificer army siege. That's not great. I do not want them to siege. I want these armies to siege, because these guys are much better served than actually fighting. I can do that. Artificer army. Come on, go ahead. Hop on in this thing. That is a woods province. It's an no, it's not my artificer army. This is my artificer army. this is the Artificer Army. They need to switch up. Really close. I can do this. Is my general, not my general, but my ruler. Yes, great. Alright. Alrighty, everything is great. Guys, we can all head back. I believe that's all of my armies. Oh, these ones can stay up here, and they can actually drill. Yeah, that has, oh. That's our first coalition war. These can... Trade and Eberthil. These. Let me do that. These guys, and they can protect trade and Anbennar cost. Let's keep this guy so we can keep point generation up. Alrighty. We have aristocratic counselors. Let me get the code advisory board down. Yeah, we can do standardized uniforms. Look at how much these guys gain per month. You can already see it tick up. so for Gisden, our truce is up. 3 years. Lancemannar, truce is probably going to be up in a lot longer. Yeah, too long actually. Accidentally saw what I wanted, but deleted it. I'm a little bit of an idiot. Okay, what kind of hegemony? Yeah, I ain't getting that many men that soon. Economics seems good enough for me. Plus, I think it has. I need to go double check that. Do this. I don't think we have any. What's it called? But fine. Nation. We do want to improve relations with them. The Wed suddenly broke our alliance, as we are hegemony now. Let's rid of them. $74. Should get up to 110. Right there. We can move further down the Luna. And we can now take federal state. Need to get rid of that. Just like that. Spruce is up 2 years. Deal with that. We also have really high morale, which is part of the reason why we do quite well on fighting. Yeah, 7.3 is good. So I never took a look at our ideas, but here they are if you desire to read them. Combat width is still 34. Factory, sure, we'll do that. Have I built any other furnaces? What about trade goods? No, we do get one there though, which is good. And I want Tech 22. I could do so much with that. RNN. Okay, truce is up in 4 months. No. Sure, why not? Lucivar. Sorry, it's a little bit longer. Relations. Bards. Artister. Okay, let's change that. with. Yeah, that's not too bad. Our leader is going to be the first one in the gears den. Oh no, Lorenz is in a coalition against me. What will I do? Give me 30. And just like that. Who else am I fighting? Lex. I'll be able to handle Lex actually. This person's name is Corn. I really do not want to let us fight. Oh, it's just Corn. Okay, so for Gisden, if I talk to Lex, yeah. Bastards dealt with. Okay, this truce is up in 4 years. This truce is up in 2 years. Fell right into a trap. Alright. Yep, we're keeping him. Who are the infidels right now? Everywhere. By the cube. The elves are evil. Yeah, that's all part of. It's called a region. Oh, I can take Silver Forge's province. Him command. so for Gizden, I like both of these provinces. Okay, I'm willing to take that. This tech so bad. On supplies, alright. Truce is up at 65, truce is up. Year and some change. Maybe this reform should be locked. Directorate. Oh yeah. Where is it? Black powder innovation. No. No. Oh. Yeah, black powder innovation. State needs the money. State doesn't actually need the money, but we don't need to tell them that. Our nation is so poor. 1 year, and I seize a little bit more land. Wed, you probably need these more than I do. I'm gonna be friends again, though. Alright. Back under force limit again. Could build another army. Yeah, we could. In fact, we will. So we're starting with 110, so we need to get to 146. Excellent. These guys right here. And then these guys all get merged up. Third guards. Force get a general. They need to stop. They will be going in. Bloodslig, the Wolf Mazes. Oh yeah, this is because we have Sanithal. Rylenar. Wait, who's Wesdame allied to? Not quite yet. My big boy fleet go over here. Oh, we sunk their flagship with our trader. That's really embarrassing. Who we're selling out. Blue Heart. Oh, these guys are artificers as well. They're not artificers, but revolutionary cards. Artillery. Should I declare for Rylenar? Okay. And go with that. Yep, take this. Obviously we need to attack so we can get a few things. Right, there we are. Okay. Allied Blooms is Hoover. Trade and Anbennar cost. Thankfully, we're not a super wide empire. So. I can get this wrapped up now. That'd be excellent. Okay. Fleets, war galleons. Yep, these guys get together. Send these guys to Abertha. These guys get upgraded to 2-deckers. Where's my other guard army? Now over here. Alright, now I can do this, and what I want is diplomatic ideas for that province resource production. Obviously, this was supposed to have been moved and deleted, but well, it's in the game. Might as well. Let's go for Anbennar itself. This way. Artificer Remnant this way. So I think now I'm actually gonna start conquering Arnhem after this war, because we will have done our mission to take what's it called? Esmeria. Yep, there's the first cards, the second cards. Now they sieged it. Food cultivation. Let's do industrial. Do that, and then over here, and then go to tier 2. You know, it's better than unlimited money, even more unlimited money. Right. So, first Gamber. Let me just bombard this real quick. Just enough. Escanbar has been sieged. I don't think that's always had a fortress. Okay. Although actually, yeah, get rid of that. I don't care about those two. Why are you in this war? And besides the fact that you hate me. I mean, you know, who cares? I fucking hate you too, Estil. Yes, these guys, head north. Keep him. Sorry about the lack of commentary, but, you know, if you're here, you probably aren't here for the commentary, but there's just not much to say. We absolutely obliterate everyone. And it's not even particularly close, like, we almost have more development than the Demirage, and we have it in probably half as many provinces. Maybe not half as many, but a lot fewer. And we are obviously absolutely unparalleled in the income department. Kartakar, probably the only nation that's here's me any. They tend to have pretty good troops, although we have super high morale now, so... To Alright, who died? I do not know why so many of our diplomatic workers come believe in some random faith from Aelantir. To be more specific, like some random faith from Hurrah. Sure, one by Blizzard token. If I take a single province. Good. Do we have ages of the people yet? Yeah, we do have ages of the state. Sorry, not ages of the people. Oh, the Northern Elite flipped over as well. That's pretty cool. Okay, fleets go this way. Clouded Eye. No. Alliance-wise, no one really wants to help us because we're hegemon. Alrighty, Riveria, yeah, whatever. Yeah, I definitely forgot to annex Telgier, which is my mistake. I can get more states though. Ashfield's good, Gisden good. And then I can obviously get High Esmar. Alright. Allied to anyone that I could... Nope, they are not. Yep, take Telgier. Usalar is the only person over on this side of the Dame's Head that is willing to fight me. Yeah, these guys need to go home. Crown flagship. Quite a lot of war score. You can do it though. We will do it. Nope. There's a remnants. Alright, yes, they have gotten that siege down. Excellent. Oh no, separatists. Oh no. How long have these guys been over there? These need to come out so they're not clogging up the space that should be used to pack full heavies. Yep, they can go this way as well. Grant it. Northern League is unfortunately losing provinces. I think ideologically the Northern League is somewhat close to us. They're a little bit more aristocratic. Okay. Suppose just land attrition again. Where is the Artificer Remnants? Probably should have taken them over to Loren, but alright. Just have one desire. This is a Revolutionary Guard army. With well-drilled regiments. Then you head south. Now we're fighting the Separatists. Chase them down. This is the spooky army. But should probably get a actual six-shot general. Yeah, that's more what I'm talking about. And they had there, I suppose. One time. terrain's not great. I'm dealing with it though. You know what? We can take this fleet up north. Are either of these... Yeah, one of these is a guard army. Okay. We can do frequent elections. It's probably better. Yeah, we'll do Black Powder Innovation. Stick with that one. And we can go this way. There. No, they took a fort. Okay. Yes, this army can head north. Also head north. Yeah, they didn't pick the right province. Oh well. These can get upgraded. They can move this way. That siege, burn the flagship. How many people have died in this war? For them, 800,000. Let's turn the speed down one notch. There. Fortunately, this is not one of the good armies. Please, for the love of God, you guys need to give up. this war take? 4 years for like 1 province. Ugh. You all blue hearts. Pour that up. And now, the dream lives on. Perhaps you tire, honored members of Parliament, of my reminders that Anbennar means unity. I do not. If what we have built is to survive, it must serve as such reminders. Every child in Anbennar must come of age knowing at least a little of what was once risked. Every man must remember the mage-appeasing tyranny of the now-defunct empire, the rot that was so narrowly avoided, and while the borders of Anbennar may encompass many various peoples, all must come to cherish that most profound of bonds, the bond of fellow citizenship. The Empire of Unity. This is what this realm was coined to be, and yet in so many hundreds of years of imperial existence it has been beholden to a certain few, dynasties, yes, of greater or lesser skill and stature, but also mages, any who could accrue power by virtue of asymmetrical advantages. We will not claim that we have crushed the desire for power forever. We will not claim people are pure, but for the first time in Keanor's history, a state exists which seeks to curb these impulses, which looks upon the cruel and autocratic and dares to hold them back. First, our own statesmen, who must navigate the many guilds of the realm, the many structures which exist to bind them. Second, our enemies, who in the dark and silent places of the world ever plot to rule unopposed. Third, the petty evils, the vampiric parasites, those who would make petty tyrannies over men who deserve by natural right to be free. Guilds within guilds, each protects us in part, functioning on the basis that solidarity of the many is worth more than the fallibility of the one. Against the local tyrants, the local guild. Against the seditionary, the guard. Against the statesman-turned-rogue under whom the peasants of old would have simply have suffered the great machinery of the unified state. This is what we have made. We do not bind our people under a false unity. The plethora of guilds which represent each of us are a testament to our many overlapping roles in life. But above them all stands an overarching whole, a citizens' guild. Above profession, above birth, to be part of Anbennar is simply as choosing to be. We will don. Ours is a state of many shades, born of competing identities. Take these. None of these will or should die. They are tones and compassion part of us. But up through Parliament and through the ranks of soldiers rises desire for a distinct unified identity, one which reflects all we did to get here, which reflects the nature of our state. Alright, let's go with Black Powder Anbennar. Do this. Alright. And I think that is where we will end this episode. I want to thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and have a good day.